Welcome to another episode on our channel. As promised, this is part 2 of 2 of the replacement for the drawer pull for the workbench that I made her. It's the same miniature workbench or mini workbench as on Mr. Prada's channel. It's a great little workbench, but in case you don't remember or simply don't know, when I made this workbench, I had some artificial self-imposed restrictions. I had to either have the material on hand or to be able to source it for free. And we just happen to have a couple of drawer pulls, one round and one square. And I swear we're not staging this. She's just psycho. She's become very comfortable here in the house. Come on, little one. Off we go. Sorry about that. Say bye-bye. I even had to put my glasses inside the drawer, my reading glasses, because the string is a bit too, making sure she's not around, a bit too much enticing for her. Where was I? Oh yeah, we had this drawer pull that fit the criteria. It was, I had it on hand, obviously not free. It's heavy pot metal, I assume maybe cast aluminum. I have no idea what it is. What I do know what it is that it is entirely too large. If I can get this thing working back. Entirely too large. Oh, sorry about that. Entirely too large for the drawer face. It just isn't going to work at all. So what I have decided to do is to make a new drawer pull. Again, with the same self-imposed criteria. I'm going to make it out of a tree branch. This is not the same tree, well, part of a tree branch. This is not the same piece of wood that was in part 1 that I thought I was going to use. For various reasons, I decided against it, mostly because there was a lot of good wood there, relatively speaking. This thing has got lots of knots and, well, as you can see, it's a little on the rough side. So I'm going to take it outside and probably violate every safety protocol regarding table saws and chop saws known to man. And you're going to like this, aren't you? And I'm going to cut this down to about 3/8 of an inch thick and probably about 5 inches long. I think that'll make a nice drawer pull. And put it dead center, well, actually dead center on this side. But yeah, it's going to go dead center on the face of what am I looking for? I can't talk to this, sorry. And plus, I'm really distractible anyway, but she's not helping. Bottom line, this is going to go on this so she can grab it and pull it out and push it back in, and it'll look better than this. In case you didn't catch the previous episode, this is called bottle brush. Technically, it's a shrub, but don't tell the 30 or 35 foot high shrub out in my front yard that it's a shrub. It might take offense. It's fairly soft wood. When I've cut it in the past, it's made very fine sawdust relative to, say, if I was cutting oak or fir or about anything. The dust is it's almost like talcum powder. So it's fairly soft, very absorbent to oil. So I don't think I'm going to oil it. It gets a little too red, but it won't be this nasty brown color once you cut into it. I think you'd be surprised. I really like the wood from an aesthetic standpoint. So with that, let's move outside. I got about 4 hours of daylight left. I hate chasing the sun. It always messes up lighting and constantly having to adjust. Especially, I'm not used to shooting with a cell phone, and I'm not taking a $3,000 camcorder outside unless I have to, and I don't have to. So, with that, let's go outside and start cutting.
Of course, like an idiot, I didn't video chopping the ends off. Suffice it to say that I used my table saw sled to chop off the two ends. Now for the hard part. I'm going to mill this thing a little bit at a time. I'm going to take my time, and unfortunately I appear to have a piece of wood stuck inside the cavity where my table saw blade retracts. So anyway, 2 bloopers in a row. Little safety hint: never miss with a table saw blade unless you decide to unplug it first. Now that I have my blade set at the proper depth, which is, or height, depending on your viewpoint, it's just a little bit taller than the tallest point of this limb. I just need to grab my gripper, which is the yellow safety device that I've spoken of in the past. Now, once that is all nice and adjusted, it's time to start shaving this thing. The secret with this is to not be greedy. Take a little at a time off the edge. Let the blade come to a complete stop. And I think I'm going to have to take a little bit more off. Again, don't be greedy. What you want is a flat surface so that the log or limb or whatever it is has something nice and flat to lay on. Something bigger and flatter and more precise than I can cut by hand. So let's give it another pass. Again, we're just shaving a tiny bit off of the bottle brush tree limb. And one more pass, and we should have a real nice flat surface from which to safely work. You can see how this thing really kicks up dust. It looks like smoke, but it's not. It's just very, very fine sawdust that this bottle brush creates. And voila, we got ourselves a nice flat surface. Nice and steady, nice and stable. We just got safer still. And now it's just a matter of time. We're going to do the same thing to all 4 sides of the log. Oh, by the way, don't wear long sleeves around loose long sleeves around a table saw. I didn't realize that I was actually doing that. That table saw, if it is given an opportunity, it will reach up and grab anything that it's not supposed to grab. So roll your sleeves up, or don't wear long floppy sleeves with a loose cuff like I just did. That's a no-no. And now it's just a matter of time and patience and care in order to cut each side of what is fastly becoming a smaller and smaller and smaller rectangle. Eventually it should be about 3/8 of an inch. And for the final rip, adjust the blade, and I'm going to have to use a push stick this time, unfortunately. It is too small to use the gripper. Not enough space between the fence and the blade. So I'm hoping this thing does not jump back and smack me in the face. Again, it's a very slow process, and this is soft wood. It's not like a hardwood that would be somewhat more prone to kick back. But any wood can kick back and ruin your day. And there you go. There is, in terms of the width, that's it. Now all I have to do is chop it off on both ends so that I have myself a nice square end on both ends and 5 inches long. Instead of using my chop saw, I'll use my crosscut sled. Mostly because I'm too lazy to go set up my crosscut for the shoot, and this will work just as well. Notice the safety blocks that I have where my thumbs are. Like I said in the past, I rather value all my digits, and that will keep my hand, both hands actually, out of harm's way. There you go, 5 inches, and it appears to be a little thicker than 3/8. I'm guessing it's about a half an inch.
And there you have it, a drawer pull. It's very simple. It's just a rectangle piece of wood, probably closer to half an inch than it was 3/8, like I had planned. But it is 5 inches across, centered here on the drawer face. Obviously, it works. You can grab it and pull it. Conceptually, it's not hard, but the hard part, quote unquote, was harvesting the wood, milling it down, and as you can see, I still have all 10 of my digits. Don't do what I did unless you're comfortable doing it. Always remember, if you do it, always remember to take a little bit off at a time. Don't give that table saw anything. Here we go again. Sorry. Don't give that table saw anything to bite and to throw back at you. It's called a kickback. Just patience and time and a great amount of care, standing out of the way. Never wear gloves using a table saw. Remember, the blade, the teeth of the blade, they come back to you. And it's better, although it'll suck, it's better to nick your finger and let pain do its thing to pull away than it is for those blades to grab the glove with your hand in it and continue its cutting motion. That's, I know it sounds counterintuitive. You think, oh, I'm going to protect my hands using gloves. No, don't do that. It's dangerous. And rarely do I say, don't do that. But that's going to be one of the times I do say, don't do that. Choice is yours, though. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the last time you'll see this workbench. I keep saying that. I may, just for her sake, continue to experiment with different interpretations of the drawer pull. I could see one maybe being kind of cupped. I don't know. If she's happy with it, I'll probably just leave it alone. Put my OCD nature aside and let her have the enjoyment. Sorry about the wind outside today. We have a high wind warning. We are so bone dry here in Southern California. November was supposed to have been about, in my area, about 7/10 of an inch. We got nothing. December was supposed to be about 1.5 inches. We got nothing. So far in January, 1/100th of an inch when we're supposed to have over 2 inches. I know the month's not over, but the long-term forecast says nothing. So the high wind warnings it only continues to dry things out. And if it does start, if there is a fire, and wind and fire are bad combinations, even if the temperature is fairly low compared to the summertime, actually quite low compared to the summertime. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Is that a thumbs up? No, that's licking the thumb finger. So in the meantime, everyone, have a good day.